Hey guys, welcome to Film World. Today I'm going to explain a romance comedy film called When We First Met from 2018. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The films open with an engagement celebration and process. Avery narrates the tale of how she first met her fiancé while Noah is thinking back to the moment he first met Avery. Noah recalls how he met Avery Martin at a Halloween party in 2014 and immediately fell in love with her. She was wearing costume from one of his favorite movies, so he really liked it. While Avery spilled her drink on Noah, they started to talk. Once they both got to speak, they realized that they had a lot in common. In order to play piano for her, Noah then took her to the jazz bar where he worked. While Noah was striking monotonous poses in the photo booth, Avery encouraged him to strike a posture that they would remember for a very long time. The football game was played at Avery's residence. After that, Noah became really hungry and finished the entire pack of cookie crisps. When the conference ended, Noah was going to kiss Avery, and this is when we return to the present. Avery told Noah a lot about her, and he really liked everything about the lady. The following scene shows Avery kissing Ethan, her future husband. Noah appears upset and becomes quite inebriated. He finds himself in the restroom the next thing, and Avery follows him. He assures her not to worry about him because he only has food poisoning. She then asks her friend Carrie to pick up Noah. Carrie enjoys catching chance events on camera, so she does this with Noah. She then inquires as to his current situation. He confesses to her his deep love for Avery and his recurrent memories of the night they first met. The two then visit Max, a friend of Noah's, where Noah finishes the narrative. Avery really gave Noah a hug as they were ready to kiss, telling him she was thrilled to have found a wonderful friend in the city. But Noah wasn't pleased with just being her friend. He had anticipated another opportunity, but the very next day, she met Ethan. Do you recall the cookie crisps? The following day, Avery went to the mall to buy cookie crisps, and it was there, and then she met Ethan. Noah ate the entire packet. Didn't the man's appetite absolutely ruin him? Back in the present, Noah accuses himself of being to blame for everything, and Carrie reassures him that Avery has never had feeling for him. Rather, she merely sees him as a friend. Then Carrie departs since she has a job tomorrow. Then Noah visits the same picture booth as he did that night with Avery. There he longs for another opportunity to be with Avery. The following morning, when he awakens, he notices that everyone is dressed in costumes. He then notices the newspaper and learns that he has traveled through time. He has returned to the precise period when he first met Avery. He then tells his pal everything. He observes Carrie shooting pictures from a window and approaches her to talk to her about last night and other topics. Considering that she doesn't know him, Carrie feels uncomfortable. She believes Noah to be a stalker who has been following her about. The prospect of meeting Avery this evening has Noah giddy with anticipation. He buys a gorgeous dress, attends the same party, and engages Avery in conversation before accidentally spilling the drink and preventing Avery from falling. To give the appearance that they are so similar, he tells her everything they have in common. She's shocked when Noah shares all about herself with her. He then adds that he believes they are connected. He then brings her to the same pub and carries out Avery's wish for the evening. Avery gets a message from Carrie, letting her know she is coming over and what they get to her place. Because he freaked out Carrie that very morning, Noah becomes anxious. Noah kisses Carrie and Avery goodbye before they follow. She informs Avery that she has been stalked by Noah, and that it appears that he is also stalking you after spotting him there. Then Avery claims that he is equally knowledgeable about her. Both of them panic and begin to abuse Noah because he was intoxicated the night before. Noah thinks it was a dream when he wakes up the following morning and feels he should apologize to Avery. Ethan answers the door when he arrives at Avery's home, but he is unfamiliar with Noah. This is a stalker from 3 years ago. Avery comes in and begins yelling. This severely beat him, and Noah barely makes it out of there. Noah is aware that he is currently dealing with the repercussions of his decisions to time travel. He visits the photo booth once more and hopes he could travel back 3 years. The following morning, he awakens to find himself back in the past. He phones Max and asks for his assistance. Max advises him to act like a playboy since girls enjoy playboys. He basically instructs him to act like a complete jerk. He wants him to have a little attitude and gives her the impression that you're completely full of yourself. He follows Max's advice and during the party makes fun of Avery's outfit before promising to bring her a drink. And when he does, asking her if she would like to share personal details about herself. Avery became enraged and began to leave. Then when she initially denies that she likes him, Noah claims that she does. She then pushes him into the water. After offering her his apology and asking her to provide a hand, Noah pulls her into the water with him. In the midst of all this, they begin kissing. Avery kisses Noah in return, and the next thing they know, they are in bed together. She becomes enraged and begins yelling at him. The following morning, Noah awakens in 2017. This time it's Avery's pet. Avery, whose relationship with him it's not cordial, questions why he's acting in such a manner as he hugs her from behind. She says that because she was depressed and needed a nightstand, she phoned Noah. When Noah went back in time, he was acting like a playboy, and now it has become how people perceive him. When Avery needs him, she only calls him for one night stand and never takes him seriously. Then when Noah notices that Avery is joking with Ethan, he becomes envious and declares that he will join them. He cannot keep up with Ethan and quickly becomes out of breath. Avery follows Ethan while Carrie stays with him. Then Noah informs Carrie that no matter what he does, Avery always despises him. He confesses to her his deep love for Avery. Then Carrie informs him that Avery prefers a man who is responsible and employed steadily. Noah then spurs himself on to obtain a good career. He time travels once more. He lands a wonderful job run across Avery that evening at the Halloween party and displays a very serious and adult demeanor in front of her. He expresses to her his desire to be with her for the rest of his life. They visit the same pub where Noah purchases pricey drinks and Avery learns that Noah formerly worked there. Then Noah informs her that he now has a wonderful job and hopes to have a successful career. In the following scene, which takes place in the present, when we see Noah waking up at a desk, looking around and discovering that he is in a large house. He has also gained a little weight. He's content with the accomplished man he has become. He's suddenly extremely wealthy. He notices his card and learns that today is engagement celebration for him and Avery, with Avery residing with him in the luxurious home. He's really content. He's a little taken aback to learn that Carrie is also residing with him. Avery admits that having Carrie at home is pleasant when he is gone for days at a time on business. Nevertheless, he's not overly delighted about it. Then he recognizes his vehicle. It is the car of his dreams. He learns that he is getting promotion when he arrives at the office. He goes to his office, chats with the Chinese man there in Chinese, and then he and his friend Max argue about who ought to be at this office. Noah understands that he needs to take a short break from work because he's so stressed out. At this point, his secretary approaches him and warns him that he's already booked solid for the upcoming 3 months and risks losing his job if he took even a single day off. For his engagement party, he is running late. When he gets there, he tries to perform the song he sang at the bar 3 years prior for her, but his voice is dreadful. He then visits Ethan's inebriated bathroom. The men are just different in the scene we saw at the beginning. Things have changed. Ethan is then driven home by Noah. He is told by Ethan that he should be extremely ashamed of himself for being such a sad person and that he proposed to Avery on the day of their engagement. What did she say? Noah then queries. He quotes her as saying that she yearned things to be different. As soon as Avery returns home that night, Noah realizes that he is not truly loved by him. He tells Carrie, who is still awake, everything, and she replies that she already knows it. She then assures him that Avery truly cares for him and then she won't even abandon him. Now Noah is aware that he's the wrong choice for Avery. He goes back 3 years again to set him up with Avery. He brings Ethan along this time. After introducing them to one another and speaking with Carrie for some time, Noah feels he might be the one for him. He brings Carrie to the pub this time, where they begin talking about music and discover they have a lot in common. They're bonded through music literally. It turns out that Carrie was the brains behind everything Avery did, including the music, the costume, and the foosball table. They have some enjoyable time together, so Noah comes to the conclusion that Carrie is the one who most closely resembles him. The one he ought to be with is truly her. He believes that the two of them will be a great match. We return to the present the following morning. At the home of his friend Max, Noah awakens. After that one night, he learns he never met Carrie. He then visits Carrie and tells her they first met 3 years ago and that they get along well. Carrie panics and announces that she is leaving immediately for a date. He then understands that his friendship with Avery was the only factor in his span with Carrie. Therefore, he must be her friend. When he returns to the bar, he discovered that the photo booth is no longer there because it has been sold out. He becomes quite unhappy because he believed that he will never be able to live his life like he desires. He begins abusing alcohol. He's there and Avery arrives here with Ethan. When she encounters Noah, she's informed by Noah that the picture booth has been removed. Then Avery informs him that it is now at her house. She purchased it since she was certain Noah would enjoy it. When Noah gets there, he makes another wish and returns 3 years earlier. He conducts himself in the same manner that he did 3 years prior. He awakens the following morning on the day of Avery's wedding. He meets Carrie at the engagement celebration where he goes. When they both get to talking, Noah inquires her about musical preferences. The three leave the celebration as a group led by Carrie, similar to how she used to take haphazard photos of him. Noah keeps taking shots of her as they leave. Then we see a ton of photos of them together, all of which show how content and pleased they are to be together. On account of this, a boy who goes back in time to be with his crush, ending up dating her best friend. To watch more explanation of these kind of movies, click on the videos on your screen and don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. And at last, thanks for watching.